Good afternoon, all of you. So now come to DNA fingerprinting. Another important topic, DNA fingerprinting. So what is DNA fingerprinting? So see, before we are going to discuss DNA fingerprinting process, so we need to know some information. But already we have some idea. Human genetic material or human genome contains 3 billion base pairs. How many base pairs? 3 billion base pairs, right? That human genetic material, otherwise human genome, consists of 3 billion base pairs, right? So around 99, in that 99.9% genetic material are nucleotide sequences similar among the all human beings, right? So 99.9% of the nucleotide sequence. So nucleotide sequence is similar among the all human beings, right? So what about remaining part? The remaining part differ, right? Variations, right? Variations appears in genetic material, so in between human beings, right? So around 99.9% nucleotide sequences are similar in all human beings. But what about remaining genetic materials? The remaining genetic material varies from one human being to another human being, right? So that differences in DNA. The differences in DNA makes every individual unique in phenotypical appearance. Okay, right? And only a small part, of DNA, only a small part, otherwise a part of DNA contains useful information. So in human genome, around 2.2 meters genetic material are in human genome. Only a part of DNA contains useful information. But what about remaining DNA? So that large amount of DNA is junk DNA. What it is? Junk DNA. Large amount of DNA is junk DNA. But this junk DNA not expresses. That junk DNA not expresses. So not expresses means it not participates in protein synthesis. It not participates in transcription, translation, and it not synthesizes proteins. So the junk DNA not expresses. And that too, in that junk DNA, random variations occurs at every 2,200 nucleotides, right? So random variations. So the random variations occurs at every 200 nucleotides. Okay, right. When we perform centrifugation technique, what type of centrifugation? Density based centrifugation, right? So when we perform density based centrifugation technique, right, that repeated DNA separated from the bulk DNA. Repeated DNA separated from the bulk DNA, otherwise zinc DNA, right? Then, so when we perform centrifugation technique, two major peaks are formed. One is major peak and another one. Two important peaks are formed. One is major peak and another one is minor peak, right? So two peaks are formed. So two peaks are formed when we'll perform centrifugation, density-based centrifugation technique. Okay, what are they? So major peak is junk DNA, right? Junk DNA. And what about minor peak? So that minor peak is repeated DNA. Minor peak is repetitive DNA, right? So when we'll perform centrifugation technique, two peaks are formed. One is major peak, so it is nothing but junk DNA only. Minor peak is repeated DNA. So that repeated DNA is separated from the zinc DNA, right? So the DNA fingerprinting process involves identification of differences at a particular locations in DNA. Identification of differences at a particular locations of DNA, right? So those differences are considered as repeated DNA. So that repeated DNA is also called as that repetitive DNA. Sir, what is repetitive DNA, sir? See, that nucleotides or nitrogen bases repeated again and again, like AGCT, AGCT. See, like that, that nucleotides, otherwise that sequence repeats again and again. We call them as the repetitive DNA, right? So that repetitive DNA is also called satellite, satellite DNA. See, this satellite DNA not expresses. That satellite DNA not expresses. Not expresses means they do not participate in transcription and translation. But it is inheritable material, right? It is inheritable material. It is passing from parents to progeny, but it not expresses. Not expresses. Okay, right? So that satellite DNA is of two types again. That satellite DNA. Where exactly satellite DNA located? So that satellite DNA is nothing but repetitive DNA or heterochromatin material. So it is located especially at centromere, and at the satellite, one knob-like structure which is located above the secondary construction called satellite. No, right? In that satellite and centromere, we observe that the satellite DNA are a repetitive DNA, right? Then, see that satellite DNA can be classified into two types again. How so? So based on guanine cytosine rich, based on guanine cytosine or adenine thymine rich, based on guanine cytosine or adenine thymine rich, and based on number of nucleotides. So based on number of nucleotides, based on guanine and adenine thymine rich, based on the number of nucleotides, and based on repetitive units. So that satellite DNA is of two types. That satellite DNA can be classified into two types. For example, first one is mini satellites. Mini satellites. So mini satellite. Second one is micro satellite. So what is the difference between mini satellite and micro satellite? So see, in mini satellite, that complete length or entire length of mini satellite is 1000 nucleotides to, right? 1000 nucleotides to 20,000 nucleotides, right? So that mini satellite's length is, that arrangement length is, so 1000 nucleotides to 1000 nucleotides, otherwise base pairs. You can take base pair, 1000 base pairs to 20,000 base pairs, right? 1000 base pairs to 20,000 base pairs, mini satellite. And what about repeated units? So that repeated units are each repeat consists of repeated unit or a repeat consists of 10 to 60 nucleotides. 10 to 60 nucleotides. Actually here base pairs, but better to write nucleotides only. Why? Because here we are using each repeat consists of 10 to 60 nucleotides we are using. So here also we have to take nucleotides, right? So 100 to 1000 to 20,000 nucleotides. 100 nucleotides to 20,000 nucleotides, right? So that mini satellite entire arrangement length is, right, 1000 nucleotides to 20,000 nucleotides, and each repeat consists of 10 to 60 nucleotides, right? For example, AGCT, right? AGCT. See, like that AGCT repeats again and again. No, so we call it as one repeat, right? One tandem repeat, one unit, one tandem repeat unit. So in one tandem repeat unit, how many nucleotides are there? 4 nucleotides. A, Z, C, T. So like that. So each repeat consists of 10 to 60 nucleotides. If each repeat consists of 10 to 60 nucleotides, we call it as mini satellite. Mini satellite. Okay, right? And what type of nucleotides are rich? So what type of nitrogen bases are nucleotides rich in many satellites? So guanine and cytosine rich. Guanine and cytosine nucleotides are rich in many satellites, right? So second type again. What about second type? Microsatellites. Microsatellites. Right. So that a microsatellite length is that arrangement of microsatellite or that arrangement length is 100 to 1000 nucleotides. 100 to 1000 nucleotides. Nucleotides length. 100 to 1000 nucleotides length. And each repeat in microsatellites, each repeat consists of 2 to 6 base pairs or 2 to 6 nucleotides. 2 to 6 nucleotides. Right? 2 to 6 nucleotides or 2 to 6 base pairs. See here, for example, A, Z, C, D. How many nucleotides are there? 4 nucleotides. So now tell me, is it microsatellite or mini satellite? Microsatellite. Microsatellite. Why? Because each repeat consists of 4 nucleotides only, right? So A, Z, C, D. Here again A, Z, C, D. A, Z, C, D. Each repeat or each repetitive unit or a tandem repeat consists of how many nucleotides? 4 nucleotides. It means it comes under microsatellite. Microsatellite. Right. Then what type of nucleotides are rich in microsatellites? So, see, guanine, cytosine, adenine and thymine are rich in microsatellites. And these microsatellites useful for paternal cases, right? So paternity cases, paternal cases, identification of paternal cases, paternity cases or paternal cases, and recombination. It is also essential for the identification of a recombination in genetic material, right? So recombination mapping, all right? It is also useful for identification of recombination mapping. Right, that identification of the recombination process and paternity cases we are using microsatellites, right? So which type of satellites we are using for identification of paternity? Paternity means microsatellites. What is paternity? Paternity means identification of father or identification of mother. So for the identification of either father or mother, so we are using microsatellites information. Right. So like this, see that the satellite DNA can be classified into mini satellites and microsatellites. Right. Note it down. Right. So now come to genetical markers, genetic markers or genetical markers. Small side heading, genetic markers, genetic markers. So what are genetic markers? If any genetical or if inherited, any inherited gene, inherited gene or molecular character, molecular character. If any inherited gene or molecular character differs among the human beings, differs among the humans, if any gene or molecular character differs among the human beings, it is identified. It is identified in laboratory, right? That structure is called gene markers. Gene markers, right? So what are gene markers? So genetical markers are gene markers. What are genetical markers or gene markers here? Any inherited gene or genetic material or molecular character, right? Different, right? That differs among the human beings. If it is genetic material or molecular structure or molecular character, so differ among the human beings, that different character or different structure identified in laboratory, we call it as gene markers. Right? So that gene markers do not codes any protein, right? So that genetical markers may be not having coding sequence, right? That genetical markers do not have any coding sequence. It means it not expresses, right? The gene markers not expresses. So not expresses means they do not participate in transcription and translation process. Then, and one more thing. See that genetical markers must be polymorphic. So that genetical markers must be polymorphic. So what about polymorphic here? Polymorphic. So what is polymorphic or polymorphism? Small heading. Polymorphism. So what is polymorphism? Variations occurs in DNA sequence called polymorphism. Definition, right? So the genetical markers must be polymorphic. See, any inherited gene or molecular character differs, right? That differs among the human beings. It is identified as gene markers in laboratory, right? So they may be not having any coding sequences. It means they do not code any proteins, not expresses their characters. They must be polymorphic. So what is polymorphism here? Polymorphism means variations in DNA sequence. Variations in DNA sequence. So variations in DNA sequence are variations at genetical level called polymorphism. Variations are nothing but changes, right? Changes in genetic material or their DNA sequences called polymorphism, right? So that polymorphs or polymorphism may be single or two or in more forms, or maybe single or two or more forms. More forms on locus. So I'll give you one clarity, right? Better to take single nucleotide polymorphism, SNPs. What are SNPs? So definition for SNPs or abbreviation for SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphism. So that single nucleotide polymorphism varies from one person to another person. For example, you can take human being one, otherwise one person, man one, human being one or man one. See AZATC, right? Then AZA, CTA, then CTA, Z, A, Z, right? So this is the sequence, nucleotide sequence of one person, first person. So first person nucleotide sequence it is, right? In that, here it is T, right? Here it is T. So GATC, T, AZA, CTA, CTA, CTA. So how many repeated units we observed in that genetic material, otherwise the DNA sequence? So one repeated unit, second repeated unit, third repeated unit. So how many repeated units we observed in that genetic material, man one genetic material, 3 repeated units. So we call them as tandem repeats. Tandem repeats. So how many tandem repeats we observed here? 3 tandem repeats. In person 1 or human being 1. So how many tandem repeats we observe? 1, 2, 3. Right? Second one again. So man 2. Second person. So in second person genetic material, what type of changes you observe? Means Z, A, T, C as usual. And A, Z, A as usual. But here C, T, A, C, T, A, then C, T, A, C, T, A, then Z, A, Z. See here, in person 2 genetic material, so how many repeated units we observe? CTA 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So how many tandem repeats? So the tandem repeats are 4 in second person. Second person. See the tandem repeats comes under mini satellite or microsatellite. Microsatellite. Why? Because that microsatellite consists each repeat in microsatellite consists of 2 to 6 nucleotides. See here, only 3. Only 3. 3 means it comes under microsatellite, right? Then so person 3, man 3. Okay, what about man 3 or person 3 genetic material? As usual, Z, A, T, C, A, Z, A, then C, T, A, C, T, A, C, T, A, then C, T, A, C, T, A, right? So totally how many tandem repeats are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So here tandem repeats in person 3, tandem repeats are 5, right? It means, so the tandem repeats varies from person to person. The tandem repeats are repeated units. The repeated units varies from person to person, right? So in first person, the tandem repeats may be 3. In second person, tandem repeats 4. In third person, tandem repeats 5. So the tandem repeats are repeated units also varies from one person genetic material to another person genetic material. So based on the tandem repeats, easily will identify persons, right? Why? Because the tandem repeats varies from one person to another person like fingerprints. So the tandem repeats also varies from person to person, one person to another person. For example, here only you can take man 1, 3 tandem repeats, man 2, 4 tandem repeats, man 3, then 5 tandem repeats. So maybe that nucleotide number in each tandem repeat also varies. So that sequence also varies. Number of nucleotides in each repeat also varies. That number of tandem repeats also varies from person to person. And one more thing here. See, in first genetic material, here it is T. Here it is T. Then in second genetic material, A. In third genetic material, it is C. Imagine. See, only one nucleotide leads to change, right? Single nucleotide leads to change in this genetic material. Okay, tandem repeats varies. So along with tandem repeat number, so that single nucleotide leads to change in genetic material DNA. Here it is T, A, C, right? So we call it as SNP. So single nucleotide polymorphism. Single nucleotide polymorphism. See, whenever the genetic material transferring from parents to progeny, otherwise from one generation to another generation, some inheritable mutations also occurs. inheritable mutations or inheritable polymorphism also occurs, right? So maybe so single nucleotide polymorphism, right? So for example, genetic material transfers from parents to progeny. What will happen, sir? What about VNTR numbers? So that VNTR is also same thing. So that baby consists of father VNTRs and mother VNTRs. So but father VNTRs as well same. For example, father has 3 VNTRs, right? Variable number of tandem repeats. How many tandem repeats are there? 1, 2, 3. So 3 tandem repeats. Father consists of 3 tandem repeats. So that father genetic material, whenever transfers to the data, automatically that 3 tandem repeats transfers from father to data. So for example, first chromosome. So that for example, first chromosome consists of 3 tandem repeats, imagine, in father. So what will happen, that 3 tandem repeats in first chromosome as it is transferred to the data, right? Then mother VNTRs, father VNTRs varies, but because father VNTRs, for example, 3, mother VNTRs 6, so that 6 VNTRs also transfers to the data. It means that data consists of father VNTRs and mother VNTRs also. But because so our genetic material, our cell consists of 46 chromosomes. In that 46 chromosomes, 23 chromosomes comes from mother, 23 chromosomes comes from father. In the same way, that variable number of tandem repeats, VNTRs. So what is VNTRs? It is nothing but variable number of tandem repeats. Tandem repeats are nothing but repeated units. So that the repeated units or tandem repeats varies from person to person. But whenever the genetic material inherited to the data, so the data consists of father VNTRs and mother VNTRs, right? 2 sets of VNTRs present in each and every organism, right? One set VNTRs from father, one set VNTRs from mother, right? So like that, the variable number of tandem repeats varies from one organism to other organism, right? So it's a brief introduction about DNA fingerprinting, right? So now come to procedure, actual procedure for DNA fingerprinting. So how we will recognize, otherwise how we will identify kids, how we will solve parental disputes, right? Who is father, who is mother, right? So the data related to father or mother, right? So that type of parental disputes, how we will solve by using DNA fingerprinting process, and how we will identify criminals and thieves, right, by using DNA fingerprinting process. We will see step by step, right? Protocol for DNA fingerprinting or process of DNA fingerprinting, right? Note it down. Right. Protocol for DNA fingerprinting, or better to write process of DNA fingerprinting. Right. Imagine one crime happened in one particular area. So that forensic officers, forensic department collects various substances in that crime area. Right? They collected various substances in that crime area. How they isolated genetic material, how they identified VNTRs, variable number of tandem repeats. So that information we'll see. Imagine one crime happened in one particular area and forensic department collected various substances, right? So DNA profiling, otherwise process of DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting. So process of DNA fingerprinting. So come to step by step. First step, isolation of genetic material from the various substances. Imagine one crime happened in one particular area. So that forensic department collects various substances from the crime area. Crime area. So they collected various substances like semen, red blood, tissue, red bones, hair root. So like that various substances they collected. But according to this process, first step is isolation of genetic material DNA from the various substances, right? So first step here is isolation of DNA, isolation of DNA from the various substances. This is the first step. First step in DNA fingerprinting, that is isolation of DNA from the various substances. Imagine in that crime area, that forensic department collected blood sample. Alright, so imagine it is blood. So in red blood cells, there is no genetic material, no. So yes, white blood cells and platelets. Alright, so blood. They collected blood sample. Otherwise, semen, otherwise bone, otherwise root hair, meaning base of the root, base of the hair base, bone, semen, blood or tissue, that type of substances, various substances they collected first. Right? They isolated genetic material DNA from the various substances like blood, semen, bone, then hair base, right, or tissue or muscle, right? So how they isolated genetic material DNA from the various substances? So by treating with various enzymes, right? So by treating with various enzymes, what type of enzymes? So as usual, animal cell means no need of lysozyme, chitinase and cellulase enzymes. So remaining enzymes, proteases, lipases, carbohydrates and DNases and except DNases, RNases, they are using for the isolation of purified genetic material from the animal cells. Except DNases, remaining enzymes used for the separation of genetic material DNA from the various substances. Right? Then, so first step here is isolation of genetic material DNA from the various substances, various collected substances. Right? Then second step. Okay, here they collected purified genetic material. Imagine it is purified genetic material. Okay, second step is fragmentation of genetic material DNA by using restriction endonuclease enzymes. Same information, right? So fragmentation of DNA. Fragmentation of DNA by using restriction endonuclease enzymes, REN. REN means restriction endonuclease enzymes. Right? So second important step, after collection of purified genetic material from the various substances, so that purified genetic material treated with restriction endonuclease enzymes, it resulting in the formation of several DNA fragments. Am I right? So it resulting in the formation of several DNA fragments. So these are DNA fragments. So these DNA fragments amplified by using PCR. If we require many copies of DNA, segments, we amplify by using PCR technique, polymerase chain reaction technique. If we require more copies of DNA samples, we amplified that fragments by using PCR, polymerase chain reaction technique, right? Then what about the next step, third step? Right, isolation and separation, or separation and isolation by using agarose-gel electrophoresis, right? So third step is separation and isolation. Separation and isolation. Separation and isolation. Alright, separation and isolation of DNA fragment by using agarose-Zell electrophoresis. Imagine it is agarose-Zell electrophoresis plate. Right. So first well it is, second, third, fourth well. So first well, second well, third well, then fourth well, as usual. So that fragmented genetic material will be transferred into the wells. Right. So when we supply electric current, what will happen? Negatively charged DNA molecules migrates towards the positive charge, towards the anode. Right. Large DNA segments located near the wells. So the DNA segments which have more molecular weight located near the wells only. So that DNA fragments which have less molecular weight migrates very rapidly towards the anode end, towards the anode end. Right? It means large bands located near the cathode, right? Small bands located near the anode end. Like this, say they're separated and isolated by using agarose-Gell electrophoresis technique. After that, so they performed Southern blotting technique. Southern blotting technique. It means they added alkaline solution. Alkaline solution to the electrophoresis plate, agarose-Zell electrophoresis plate. Okay, when they added alkaline solution to the agarose-Zell electrophoresis plate, what will happen? The DNA molecules, double-stranded DNA molecules undergoes denaturation. Denaturation. See here, next step, addition of alkaline solution. So when they added alkaline solution to the electrophoresis plate, what will happen? The double-stranded DNA molecules, right, undergoes denaturation process. So denaturation process. See here. So what is denaturation? Separation of DNA bands or DNA molecules. See the two DNA strands totally separated from each other. See like this. See like this, right? So and totally the double-stranded DNA molecule converted into single-stranded DNA. So when it occurs, so whenever that alkaline solution added to the buffer solution and added to the agarose-Gell electrophoresis plate, what will happen? That double-stranded DNA molecule undergoes denaturation process. What is denaturation? Whenever DNA molecule subjected to the highest temperature like 94 degrees centigrade or it's subjected to the alkaline solution, so the double-stranded DNA converted into single-stranded DNA called the denaturation process. Here also same thing. So the double-stranded DNA converted into single-stranded DNA, right? Then after that, we have to place tissue paper, otherwise tissue towel over the agarose-Zell electrophoresis plates. Already I told you, right? So over the agarose-Zell electrophoresis plate, so we have to place tissue towel or tissue paper. Tissue paper. Okay, imagine it is tissue towel. Tissue towel means tissue paper. So over the tissue, wait. Sorry. So first, before tissue paper, first we have to place a nylon membrane. After that, a tissue paper, right? See, over the agarose-Zell electrophoresis plate, we have to place nylon membrane. So that nylon membrane allows buffer solution, but not DNA molecules. Okay, over the nylon membrane, we have to place tissue paper, otherwise tissue towel. Am I right? So tissue paper or tissue towel. So first, agarose-Gell electrophoresis plate. Over agarose-Gell electrophoresis plate, we place nylon membrane. Over the nylon membrane, tissue paper or tissue towel, right? So tissue towel or tissue paper. Okay, right. What will happen here? Again, finally, we have to keep one weight over the tissue paper or tissue towel. Right, in this entire setup, the tissue towel or tissue paper absorbs buffer solution which is present in agarose-Gell electrophoresis plate. So whenever the tissue towel absorbs buffer solution, along with buffer solution, the DNA molecules also moves upward direction. upward direction. It means that buffer solution totally absorbed by the tissue towel or tissue paper, but DNA molecules transferred to the nylon membrane, right? So again, that nylon, this technique is called blotting technique. Blotting technique, Southern blotting technique. Blotting technique. Right? Southern blotting technique. But because we are using blotting paper in this method, so that's the reason we call it Southern blotting technique, right? So in this Southern blotting technique, the DNA molecules transferred from the agarose gel electrophoresis plate to nylon membrane. Nylon membrane. Is it clear? Right. So next again. Then, so that nylon membrane we collected from the electrophoresis plate and it transferred to, so that nylon membrane transferred to what it is? Hybridization tube. Hybridization tube. Right? See here, imagine it is nylon membrane. Right? So this is nylon membrane. So these are DNA strands, single stranded DNA molecules. Imagine these are single stranded DNA molecules. Okay, it is nylon membrane. Nylon membrane. Okay, that nylon membrane again transferred to the hybridization tube. So this is hybridization tube. Okay, right. So that nylon membrane transferred to hybridization tube. See, DNA bands, single strands. Okay, right. So that is nylon membrane, right? So that nylon membrane transferred to hybridization tube. We call it as hybridization tube. Right? Transfer of nylon membrane to the hybridization tube. Right? Then after that, we have to transfer radioactive probes to the hybridization tube. Radioactive probes. So what are radioactive probes? See that radioactive probes are nothing but VNTRs of suspected persons. VNTRs are variable number of tandem repeats of suspected person or doubtful persons, right? See, these are radioactive probes. Radioactive probes. Right. So it means that repeated units are a variable number of tandem repeats collected from the suspected persons and coated with radioactive substances. Radioactive substances. Okay, right? So in this method, in that crime area, they collected genetic material, fragmented genetic material, separated and isolated. Right? Again, by using Southern blotting technique, the DNA, single-stranded DNA fragments transferred to the nylon membrane. So that nylon membrane finally transferred to hybridization tube for hybridization process. Alright. So after that, that radioactive probes are nothing but VNTRs, variable number of tandem repeats. So that variable number of tandem repeats are suspected persons. Suspected persons, VNTRs, variable number of tandem repeats. Okay, right? So that variable number of tandem repeats transferred to the hybridization tube. Right? Hybridization tube. Okay, then what will happen here? Maybe they closely, otherwise they complementary to the normal genetic material. They exactly complementary to the normal genetic material, so that a person is identified as criminal, right? If that radioactive probes are VNTRs, so exactly complementary to the so that suspected person's genetic material or suspected person's VNTRs are exactly similar to the that crime area VNTRs, that suspected person is considered as criminal. It means, see, so that suspected person consists of two sets of genetic material, other two sets of chromosomes, right? So in that two sets of chromosomes, one set consists of 6 VNTRs, for example. All right. So here also same thing, that collected genetic material in crime area also consists of 6 VNTRs in first chromosome, in second chromosome, like that in each and every chromosome that VNTRs match it, right? Suspected persons VNTRs match it to the crime area genetic material. It means he is considered as criminal, right? If that VNTR suspected persons VNTRs are not complementary to the crime area genetic material, not complementary to the crime area genetic material, is not considered as criminal, right? Then see, here it is hybrid DNA. Hybrid DNA. When we call it as hybrid DNA, whenever that radioactive VNTRs or radioactive probes complementary to the original genetic material, so it is considered as hybrid DNA, right? It is considered as hybrid DNA, right? Then imagine that radioactive probes or VNTRs are nothing but suspected person VNTRs. So that suspected person's VNTRs exactly, right, complementary to the crime area genetic material VNTRs, right, he is considered as criminal. That suspected person considered as criminal, right? Okay, sir, if that VNTR number, otherwise radioactive probes, not exactly complementary to the original DNA, he is not considered as criminal, right? If that radioactive probes or VNTRs not complementary to the original DNA or primary genetic material, so that suspected person is not considered as criminal, right? But we can't identify that VNTRs are exactly complementary or not in hybridization too. That's the reason we performed autoradiography technique again. So what is autoradiography technique? So see again that hybrid DNA containing hybridization nylon membrane. That hybridization tube contains nylon membrane with hybrid DNA now. So that nylon membrane is separated from the hybridization tube. See, this is what it is, nylon membrane which contains hybrid DNA. Okay, nylon membrane, imagine it is nylon membrane which contains hybrid DNA. Okay, this is hybrid DNA, right? That nylon membrane covered with X-ray film or photographic film plates. X-ray film plates or photographic film plate. See, this nylon membrane after hybridization procedure, that nylon membrane covered with or placed with X-ray film plate, and when we'll develop X-ray film plate, some barcode like structures developed on the X-ray film. Thick and thin bands developed on the, like this, thick and thin band structures developed on the X-ray film. We call them as DNA fingerprints. DNA fingerprints. Right? Based on the DNA fingerprints, easily we will solve parental disputes and easily we will identify criminals, right? So these are the major steps involved in DNA fingerprinting procedure, right? So this technique is considered as autoradiography technique. Autoradiography. Developing of DNA fingerprints on X-ray film plate is called autoradiography. Autoradiography technique. Okay, right, like that. So the DNA fingerprints we collected from the human beings, right, by this procedure. So how many steps involved in the isolation of genetic material, fragmentation of genetic material by using restriction endonuclease enzymes, then separation and isolation of genetic material, then adding of alkaline solution and southern blotting technique, then what is hybridization procedure or hybridization process, transferring of nylon membrane to the hybridization tube and adding radioactive probes to the hybridization tube, then autoradiography technique. Right. So after autoradiography technique, thin and thick bands barcode-like structures developed on the X-ray film or photographic film plates. So we call them as DNA fingerprints. So based on DNA fingerprints, based on VNTRs which are located on the X-ray film, easily will identify criminals. Otherwise, parental disputes also easily will solve by using this technique, right? So remaining information related to DNA fingerprinting process we'll see in the next class.